We're live. There you go, mate. We're on it. We're in like Flint. He's a bit fruity, that one. Oh, the video's immediately frozen, but it's fine now. There you go. Yeah. At least it's not Skype, I guess.
Yeah.
There is that. Good news.
There is that. There's always that.
Gibbons.
Yeah. Sweet. Should we do a podcast then, I suppose?
I guess. Probably podcast time.
Here we go then. Any minute.
Any minute now. You just wait. You just wait. And that podcast is coming.
Here it comes.
Yes. Wait.
Hello and welcome to the JfG Podcast. This is episode 207. My name is Alex and I'm joined as ever by my very good friend Ash. Hey buddy, how you doing this week?
Hey buddy, as always, feeling good on a Wednesday. Yeah. Sparkly thoughts give me the hope to go on. And on, and what a nothing week this week has been. I have, that is the theme for this week for me, is nothing.
Nothing?
I've done nothing. I've watched a lot of TV, and that is about it, sir. I watched the second season of The OA, if anyone remembers that or has watched it. It's about someone that got kidnapped for 7 years and had a near-death experience, and then experiments happened on them. It was a bit fruity, the first season. It was a bit confusing. Second season, a lot more confusing. It's all about jumping to new dimensions when you die. I'm like, well, that sounds cool. That was good fun. Enjoyed that.
Nice, yeah.
After you speaking about the F1 documentary on Netflix, I was like, that sounds like something I'd enjoy, and I did.
It was fun, that thing. It was a real eye-opener into the sweary nature of the sport, buddy.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the sweariness. Massive fan. There's a lot of hatred in F1. Everyone just hates everyone else. Understandable when you can only have, 20, however many races in the world in this one sport.
Quite cutthroat.
Yeah, they're going to be a bit like, I'm the best. No, I'm the best kind of thing. It makes sense.
About, buddy.
Yeah,
that's what
exactly.
They do. And the team bosses are no different, are they?
Yeah, totally. It's fucking definitely worth a watch if you like any kind of motorsport, or don't. Either way, it was really enjoyable. I loved it.
Yeah, you can cultivate an extreme hatred for the head of Renault and then enjoy the start of the season as his cars keep breaking down.
Yeah, and they do.
You deserve it.
He does deserve it. It painted everyone as just being a massive cunt, apart from Danny Ricciardo, I think.
Well, I actually thought he came off a bit shitty as well, especially that whole sequence where he was jumping in the sea. I was like,
it's time for a change.
Olympics.
Here we go.
It's time to get it.
I'm making the jump.
My Renault car keeps breaking down, so
I'm gonna go to Renault.
Go to Renault when my team are changing engine provider.
Honda.
Oh, look, I'm breaking down all the time. Yeah. Good stuff.
It was quite exciting about I didn't really know anything about Ocon, finding out about him and how he's a massive retard. That was cool.
Yeah, it's almost brilliant at it, but it's completely irrelevant how good he is because Sergio Perez brings in 100 times the revenue in marketing and stuff
because of Mexico.
Yeah, so
it
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how good Ocon is.
No. Yeah, unlucky there, mate. Unlucky. But yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was nice. I'm looking forward to next year's one. It's a great recap.
Yeah, well, the season started brilliantly. The Bahrain Grand Prix this weekend was fucking wonderful.
Awesome, wasn't it? Fucking unlucky for old Charles Leclerc or whatever. That was unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, the Mercs were nowhere really, were they? They said he didn't deserve to win the thing.
No, totally. Anyway,
but hey,
let's just turn this into an F1 podcast now, I guess.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, yeah, nice. And the final thing I watched was Hannah. It's the new Amazon Prime thing. based on a book, and also I think there was a film ages ago, or I don't know. It's
It's
about
relatively recent film.
yeah. I think is it okay? That's weird that
It
they're
had
both new and recent.
Timothy Oliphant in it, the hilariously named Timothy Oliphant.
I like it. It's nice.
And it was good. I liked it. So is
Yeah.
the series kind of? I suppose
Series
it's along the
is-
same lines.
I'm guessing it's exactly the same storyline. But yeah, it was good. The lead actor, or one of the main guy, Eric Heller, is it? I think. Oh, yeah. He's played by, I don't know his name. He was the guy from Altered Carbon or whatever it was. That one on Netflix. That was also a really good show to watch if you like cyberpunk stuff. That's very, very good.
I do.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, well, you should. Have you seen Altered Carbon?
No.
You should watch it. It's fantastic.
I might just do that.
He comes back as a Chineseman or a man in a Chineseman in a man's body. I don't know. It was a bit confusing.
Okay.
I didn't really know what was going on apart from I was
Sold.
like, this is really cool. Enjoyed it.
Nice. Yeah.
Stuff happened, buddy. It was
Given.
cool. Yeah, no, this was fine. It was good. Girl gets taken away from some Russian laboratory when she's a baby. Lives in the wood for 15 years. Obviously, she's lived in the woods for 15 years. And then she's like, oh, I wonder what's beyond the trees. And she just fucks it up, really. You know, shit goes down. Bad times happen. Yeah, it was good. Enjoyable. Good storyline. I liked it. Action-packed in certain places. Yeah. It was good. What else have I done? I did something you did. Obviously, it was Mother's Day at the weekend. In the notes, you've written, cooked a big old Mother's Day roast. I also did that. It went well.
It's kind of got to be done for your mother, hasn't it? On Mother's Day, it's
true. I mean, it wasn't
cheap
for my
present.
mother. It was for my wife and her mother. So I was like, how have I got gypped into this? Neither of you are my mother.
That doesn't seem
But
right.
I'm the one doing the cooking here. Well, this is bullshit, really, if you ask me.
That's not
It's like,
cricket.
surely the kids should be doing this and not me. But
Yeah.
didn't happen, mate. I had to do it. It was lovely, though. Cooked some meat. It was good. I believe it
Always
was
a crucial
pork.
component of the old roast.
Yeah. It was roasted meat. I think it was pork, yeah, like I said, with crackling and all that shit. It was lovely, tasty, scrumtrel lesson. Then had some bread and butter pudding for
The
pudding.
tradition, buddy. The absolute tradition.
Yes.
The most
Keeping it
wonderful time of the year, as Andy Williams would say.
Mother's
Just
Day.
A few months out. Yeah. Give it. Yeah.
No, in fact, like I said, I've done nothing because I just watched TV. So I've not played any games this week since. Oh, that is a lie. We won the game of buying games last Wednesday, didn't we, buddy?
Yes.
I forgot
we
about
did.
this until literally just now. Yeah, we bought Nidhogg 2.
We did. We
Because
did.
why the fuck not? And played that. That was really fun.
It's fucking great.
Yeah. It was confusing. I was like, what is this? Just javelin and stuff,
Yeah.
fighting.
It's got a horrifying art style, but
Yeah.
it's a really fun game.
Yeah,
So
it is.
that's the important bit.
It was interesting when we started getting... we're just talking about this now because, fuck it, I don't care. It's video games, isn't it?
Topic for the week, actually. So,
Topic for this week.
rude not to at this
Yeah,
point.
I really liked the the parrying system. We'd be pressing buttons and shit would be going down. We'd be like, how did I do this? And like, oh, you can throw your weapons. Oh, okay. You can block. You can dodge, roll. And I was like, okay, there's quite a bit to this game.
There's a lot of depth to it. Yeah, for those
Yeah.
who don't know what Nidhogg is, this is obviously the sequel, but they're basically the same game, sort of a reskin. The second one, as far as I can tell, a few more weapons maybe. But it's a 2D side scroller, but you start at either side, and there's maybe sort of 5 or 6 screens, and the game is the person on the left has to run all the way to the right across like 4 or 5 screens and get swallowed by a big worm. The person on the opposite side has to do the same in the opposite direction. So every time, like, say the person on the left runs off the right-hand screen, then the person on the right respawns. And essentially it's like a fencing game, But
Yep.
yeah, you can kind of throw your weapons and do slides and shit. So it's like half platformer, half beat 'em up, half like I don't know. Like it's a weird game, but
Yeah,
it's really
odd.
fun.
It is a lot of fun, and I think we got it for like £5 or something. And
Yeah, and
I feel like I've got my money's worth already. Because I was
the first
fucking
game, the
pissing
one
myself.
thing that it lacked was that it didn't have any online. It was just couch co-op, which is, absolutely fine, but
Yeah.
not if one of you is in Nottingham and one of you is in Tunbridge Wells, because it's a bit of a commute in the evenings. Whereas
Yeah,
this
it
game,
is.
it's got online, and it's just a fucking giggle, basically, isn't it?
Yeah, it
It's
is.
cool.
Yeah, lots of fun. So my previous statement of not playing any games this week is an absolute lie, and I can only fucking apologise. My bad, buddies.
You disgust me, and
Yeah.
rightly so.
Yeah, so obviously I play games on game night because that's Friday. It's mandatory. You have to play games on a Friday night. It's game night. We were doing F1 with no assists. Obviously, you've been doing this for a long time, and you're quite the master at it. It's really hard. It's really, really hard to control that car when it has no assists whatsoever.
It takes a lot of getting used to. It's especially difficult when you're slowly drinking yourself to oblivion as well,
No,
which tends
yeah,
to be
definitely.
part of the course on a game
That's
night.
standard,
But,
yeah.
Now everyone's gone assistless. It's
Yeah.
I think it's only going to get better as everyone kind of improves. I mean,
I
I'm
think
just
so.
dining off the fact that I can keep it on the fucking track at this point. I don't even need to be fast.
I'm
for the
just
most
happy when I complete a race,
Yeah.
And we're only doing like 5-lap races.
Yeah,
So
no,
it's
it's a real
like-
challenge, but it's so rewarding when you get it right. It just feels brilliant. It's
Yeah.
such a wonderful game, and
Yeah, it is.
Spoiler alert! Lots of exciting news about the next game coming up in our news section, buddy.
What? F1. More talk of F1. This is we should just call this one 207 F1.
F1.
Just call it F1. Done, mate.
Yeah.
There you go. And finally, buddy, there's a bit of a sale on the PlayStation Store, and there's some VR titles that I've been keeping my eye on. Obviously, Bridge Crew. That's in the sale again. We didn't pick it up last time, which was a bit unfortunate, but it's back again. I think it's like 15, 16 quid, so probably worth getting. Catch and Release, which is that I'm on a boat in a lake doing some fishing.
Yep.
I'm up for that. I think that's like 8 quid.
Immersive.
And then the last one's that Fisherman's Tale, buddy, which is the like puzzle game. And you know how I like a good VR puzzle game.
I do like the look of that one, actually. Yeah,
It
it's
looks
almost
cool,
like
doesn't
a
it?
sort of
It's really cool.
point and click adventure sort of
Yeah.
thing, but kind of first person in VR, and you've got all the different sort of cogs and things you can turn it. It's like a bit sort of like Mist or something like that, but yeah, in VR, so presumably pretty immersive and
So, yeah,
well reviewed as well.
Might have to have a cheeky top up this week and pick some of them up, I think.
That's a hard gibbon
Yeah.
for me, buddy. That's a firm gibbon.
I'm hankering some VR action at the moment, to be honest.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I do that
So there
with
you go, buddy. I've managed to stretch that out way longer than I thought I would. So you're welcome there. And I've got to ask, what have you been up to this week?
Well, A up, buddy. A up.
Hey up, duck.
A up, me duck. What have I been doing? Again, nothing in the week because it's the week and I'm working, so I'm working in the week. But at the weekend, went to Southampton for a child's birthday party.
You love kids' birthday parties.
Apparently, I do, buddy.
It's your new thing.
As I keep attending them. So yeah, apparently I really, really enjoy them, and obviously, yeah, incredibly enjoyable. So also we went to Chichester, buddy, and that was interesting. Chichester, I hadn't been there before, but it looked like a nice town.
Yep.
It didn't give that impression when we entered Chichester, buddy.
Shit.
Yeah. So, we got there at like sunset. It was kind of a bit misty. It was very atmospheric, and they've got like a cathedral and a lot of old architecture. And we thought, oh, this could be quite nice. And then we got onto the high street, and there was some woman screaming. She wasn't wearing any trousers.
Like you do.
There was a guy lying on the floor. This is 6 p.m., by the way.
Standard.
And then there was some horrible, ugly, fucking freak show of a woman screaming at what looked like just a tourist with like a little camera, and she was like, yeah, fucking just shouting in this guy's face, and he looked like he was gonna cry.
Nice.
She was like, "You can't film me!" you need permission to film me. And he was like,
have you spoken to my agent?
he was like, why would I want to film you? And he meant, I promised I didn't film you, but it came out like, you're disgusting.
Yeah.
And then she was like, to her mate, she was like, he looks like a fucking nonce. Oh, he looks like a fucking pedo. And these women are like 35, horrible skanks.
Nice.
I'm just I mean, I doubt they were fit when they were little. So to be honest, it's so that was my first impressions. Came around the corner and there was some like community police officer like barking at a woman on a stool who was just trying to sell some like bread or something. It was all very strange.
Nice. Doughy goodness.
I shan't be going to Chichester again. That was its chance and it blew it. Frankly, the only thing that I could say was good about it, I went somewhere called the Real Burger Kitchen,
right?
And I had a burger called the Dirty Harry, buddy, and
sounds filthy.
Came in a big brioche bun. It was like a 3-ounce beef patty with nice pink in the middle. Also in there, buddy, a whole large onion ring the size of the beef patty.
Nice.
We had buttermilk breaded chicken in there as well.
Jesus.
A selection of different sort of cheeses, some sort of barbecue sauce,
bit of dick cheese.
Red onion. It was a big fucking burger. It was very tasty, and so that was an attempt by Chichester to kind of swing things in their favour, which ultimately failed, but did score them some brownie points before we inevitably left soon after. So that's Chichester for you, buddy.
Nice.
Other than that, don't go to Chichester. I mean, I'm going to be annoying the thousands of listeners we have from the Chichester area.
I had it planned. It was on my to-do list.
I'm sure. Well, I will warn you off it, buddy.
Okay.
It was an unbelievable nightmare. And also seems to have a main train line running through the centre of it, meaning like 15 roads in a line all have like the train crossing thing.
Cool. That's what you want.
Just sat at that for like literally 20 minutes. So cool. that was good as well. Don't go there. Speaking of places that you absolutely shouldn't go, I was back in the Medway towns on Sunday.
It was back in Medway.
It's Mother's Day, and I haven't got much to report. It was a very nice Mother's Day. Did a big old chicken roast, very tasty.
Meat,
good stuff.
Got the meat there. Yeah,
got
nice.
The meat there, pretty important. And I got quite drunk on Brooklyn Lager, and that was basically it. And I didn't get stabbed before I left. So
once again, buddy, defying
score one
the laws of physics there.
Unbelievable stuff. Yeah, I mean, the people who live there obviously absolutely riddled with bullet wounds and knife wounds at all times.
Yeah.
But I seem to be sort of weaseling my way in and out of the place on sort of semi-regular occasions without being killed.
It's just dipping a toe in one day.
So there we are, buddy. That was my week. Couple of things just to clean up this section. Obviously, the topic this week is video games.
As we know already, yeah.
We have spoken about some, which is obviously rare for us at this
just
point.
Making it clear, though, it makes sense.
Yep. And finally, buddy, I suppose I should probably ask you exactly what you're drinking this evening.
Well, I'm on the Wicked Wyvern.
Wyvern.
Wyvern. There you go again. Because I went to Tesco to get my beers, and I saw that Shipyard. It was like, reduced to clear, and I'm like, fucking, let's buy loads of these motherfuckers. But it was like £4.80, and I was like, well, last week I bought 2 packs for £9, and that's cheaper. So maths prevails, and I didn't buy Shipyard. Whereas the Wicked, I still can't say that word, even though you said it 2 seconds ago. Wyvern. Yeah, I look at it. What word has WYV next to each other? I mean, that's just a horrible way of putting letters. Anyway,
not many words, certainly. The river Y is probably the first thing that springs to mind.
Yeah.
If I put WY into Google.
Yeah, but then chuck the V in there as well, mate.
Just think about the garden centre, buddy. That'll get you there.
Okay, maybe.
What Yvale?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like it. It literally offends my eyes. I think those
Prefers
three letters next to
Dobbies.
each other.
He's not a White Veil fan. He likes
It's
not
true.
cuts from
Yeah,
Maidstone.
I miss not cuts. Yeah, so I'm on that because it was cheaper buying 2 packs of them for £9. It made sense. So yeah, buddy, what are you drinking this evening?
Inexplicably, buddy, I'm drinking the pint cans of Kronenberg this evening.
What?
Not that inexplicable when you enter a shop and it's all they have.
Well,
Pretty explicable at that point.
When
I
in
would
Rome.
Say. Indeed, buddy. Indeed. So yeah, well, I suppose we're going to talk about what we've been playing, although you've made it quite clear that the answer is fucking nothing. But we'll go there anyway, buddy, because I've played some stuff. So let's move on and talk about what we've been playing, what I've been playing. So, buddy, do you want to get the ball rolling this week? What have you been up to?
Well, this week, buddy, I've mainly been playing with my balls on the sofa whilst watching TV.
Fair enough, buddy. And graphically, how are you getting on there? And is that a multiplayer experience? Is there any online?
At the moment, it's strictly solo.
What's the frame rate like?
Frame rate is, it's a bit iffy here and there.
Right, yeah.
Handling's good, though.
Yeah, the control is excellent.
Yeah.
And the feel that you get,
Yeah, I mean...
strong, powerful.
If the situation's right, then it can be a bit stiff, I guess.
Indeed, yeah, difficult to maneuver around, yeah.
Yeah, but, it's, feels good on the whole.
Nice. Lovely. Well, there's your review of Ash's ball bag.
My balls, yeah. So, buddy, what games have you been playing? Anything recent and up to date?
Absolutely, buddy. As ever, I'm here to save the day with a whole host of up-to-the-minute releases that I've been tucking into.
Sweet.
AAA titles.
Yeah,
basically what everyone wants to hear about on a weekly podcast.
Yeah.
So this week, I've been playing Cluster Truck, Split Second.
Right.
What Remains of Edith Finch.
Oh, still going.
My FIFA 19 career mode.
Oh, he's been playing FIFA 19.
Yep.
That must have been fun.
It's a much more fun experience against the computer on your own,
yes.
I must say.
What happened?
And that's all I'll say about FIFA. So you've crossed that one off the list, buddy. That's one down.
One down, 3 to go. Right, where are we going
conversely, Edith Finch, obviously, I did talk about it quite a great deal last week, so I'm not going to go into detail there as well. Except to say, as previously reported, that game runs like ball bags, but is brilliant, and I love it. It's great. I think about 3-4 hours in now, and it's just fucking excellent. It's just a really good story-driven, kind of relaxing game with lots of little twists and turns.
How long is the game? Any idea?
I've no idea whatsoever. I don't think it's especially long. But,
no, I wouldn't have thought so.
It's great. It's just really good. I really like it.
Story.
Yeah.
Like it.
It's fantastic. So there you are. That's those two. And then Cluster Truck. Do you know what Cluster Truck is? Do you remember?
No. Is it a chicken game?
It is a first-person platformer where you start on top of a truck.
Right.
And there are maybe 100 other trucks in a sort of absolute cluster truck, I'd say, buddy.
Okay,
a sort of line of carnage as they barrel through like a canyon or down a highway. And you need to jump from truck to truck and stay on the trucks and reach a goal. And that's the whole game.
That sounds good.
It's very addictive.
Nice. Like that.
It's really fun. The controls are essentially walk, jump. There's a run button, but that does take you sort of out of control somewhat. Kind of a bit hard to get used to.
Yeah.
And yeah, literally you just jumping off of the top of like articulated lorries, one to the other. They crash into each other. You kind of got to dodge them. Maybe they go around like a canyon, so you got to kind of adjust a little bit. And that's basically it. It's like a sort of one and done. You die, you restart. Each level probably lasts about 25 seconds. Just kind of fun. I don't really know why. I don't even really understand why. I mean,
that's what games really should be. and that's fun, buddy. So
Yeah, it's a
end of
laugh.
the day, yeah.
I added it recently to Game Pass, because obviously they did. It's a never-ending fucking smorgasbord of joy. So
Yeah.
it's it's a wonderful little game. I'm really enjoying it. And if you've got that Game Pass buddies, it's like a 450 meg download, and I suggest you give it a burn.
Nice, buddy.
Gibbons, it's fun. It's good stuff. And finally, let's talk about Split Second, which is a Xbox 360 game, which I've been playing, and it is a very simple circuit racer, sort of arcadey. It's got a pretty satisfying drift to it, which is kind of the most important thing when it comes to like an arcade circuit game.
Yes, it is.
You just got a little dab of the brake, no fucking about with like handbrake and everything else.
Still waiting for that perfect arcade racer on the PS4 still.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm hoping that Wreckfest will come along at some point because I think that might be the one. Obviously, there is a racing game out this week, which we'll talk about shortly.
What?
It might be worth investigating somewhat. But it's got a boost mechanic, and as you charge the bar at the bottom, it unlocks various little perks where you can like bomb other cars, but also if you charge it up all the way, then there's certain points on the maps where you can like bring down a building on top of your opponents and that sort of thing. So it's kind of a case of gracefully drifting around the circuit, charging your bar up, and then executing explosions. That's kind of the game, and it's really fun. I really like it. It's only got 2 views, and the sort of third person behind the car view is quite a long way back for what I'm used to. I tend to play all racing games in like dash cam at this point, and the only option there is like nothing on the screen, just like camera on front of the bonnet kind of thing. So that takes a bit of getting used to because it's quite nice to have the bonnet there. You can kind of see from reflections and stuff how much you're sort of turning and stuff, and whether you're sort of losing the back. But overall, it's just a really solid little arcade game. It's got quite a nice little tutorial leading you in, and then a good old whack of content in terms of circuits and cars and stuff. It's just fun. Nice. I like it. I haven't tried it with the wheel yet, but obviously all games are compatible with the wheel when you've got that drive hub thing. So
that's fucking crazy. That's so
good.
Good.
I could play the Crew with a steering wheel with drive hub.
Yeah, you could.
Because you can just map it like a controller. It would probably be terrible, but you could do it. So that's nice.
Nice, buddy.
So yeah, there you go, buddy. Other than that, FIFA 19, just playing through my career as Macclesfield Town, thinking about moving clubs now that they're the best team on earth. But FIFA doesn't have reborn players, so all of the players are just made-up names at this point.
Made-up name, which isn't
kind of
good.
Spoils the fun a little bit, to be honest. I can't go out and buy players that I like in real life because they've all fucking retired after a few seasons.
Dead, mate.
So, it's consistently been a problem on FIFA since the game was born in like 1992. Whereas Pez solves it by, a player retires the following season, he's reborn as a 16-year-old, and you can snap him up and improve him up to like super stats again. And that's fun. So, yeah, there you are, buddy. That is the games that I've been playing. Super modern.
Up to date.
Always on the fucking pulse, as you well know.
That's why people listen to this show. Because we do all of the latest things and report on all the latest news, even if that news is complete bollocks.
They come here for exclusives, buddy, and that's something they've never, ever had. So with that in mind, buddy, probably time to move on, I'd say.
Gibbons.
And now it's time for the news.
Fucking news.
Possibly going to be quite a short show this evening, buddy, because there's...
I believe so. There's fuck all
going on, really.
Nothing's going on, mate. I haven't done anything.
I got some bits and bobs in the news. I will bring them to you now, but they're mainly snippets rather than things to sort of talk about in great length. But anyway, here we go. Number 1.
Number Wang. Sorry.
No,
Whoa.
number Wang.
Whoa.
Number one. Number Wang. Number one. Media Molecule's Dreams will soft launch in a sort of alpha state on the 16th of April, priced at £25.
Yeah. No VR support. Like it.
No VR support. So I got an email a week or two ago, sort of suggesting there was going to be a beta of some sort of this game. I didn't expect that beta to be £25.
No.
Obviously, you get the full game if you put that 25 quid down, but also it might be shit. I mean, we don't even know really what it is, other than it's a game where you can make games, something we definitely won't do, and it's been delayed repeatedly. Always a terrible sign. So the pedigree of the studio is such that I think a lot of people will probably buy into this, but I still don't really understand what the actual minute-by-minute gameplay is, and I'm certainly not willing to pay 25 quid to fucking find out. Add the lack of VR at launch as well, and I don't know, really. I don't really know what to make of it.
Fucking do one, son.
Yeah, what do you make of this? I mean, obviously, it's not something that they've been doing on PlayStation. Like
they were so against the whole alpha
no early
state
access and all
that's
that sort
the
of...
words, early access. Oh no, you can't have that with early access. Oh,
because Microsoft have got their idea Xbox thing, and that's how they kind of. But this is kind of unprecedented on the PlayStation. It's kind of a first-party title as well, with Media Molecule being a Sony company.
They're just like fucking going like, oh well, it's ours, so we can do what we want. But if anyone else wants to do this, no, fuck off, kind of thing. It's I don't know. I think it's fucking. Well, firstly, I don't really care. Because this whole early access thing's been around for ages on PC and stuff like that. I'm trying to think if I've ever bought into it. I don't think I have actually.
No, I certainly haven't ever put my money down early doors.
No, no. So therefore, I don't really agree with the practice of having early access in games, because obviously you want a game, you want to play that game when it comes out, and you play the shit out of it. And if you play the shit out of it when it's shit, you're not getting the best out of the game. Whereas if obviously you wait until that game is fully out and then buy it, then hopefully it would be better, in a better place than where it was when it began. That's my views on it.
It's fucking just continually extending the life of these video games, which I don't like. I've made that quite clear with the whole games as a service thing. But the idea that they're launching them before they're finished and you're paying for them, then they're coming out and finally with like a final release, like a year or two into their lifespan, and then they're like games as a service and more stuff. Like, you're talking about games lasting as long as the cycle of a fucking console, and that is not the sort of experience that I'm after. Like, I don't want to play the same
if anything. No, and if anything, this like week away from games, like my hiatus or whatever, like I don't know what it was, it's kind of made me think like, I do want to just play like other games, kind of thing. Like I enjoy the community aspect of these games, but those single player experiences are fantastic, or just little games like mainly like the VR games that I've been playing over the past month or so. They've been highly enjoyable, and I'm just like, well, fucking these games that are just being chucked into like month after month. I'm just like, no, it's not great. Like Destiny 2 for me is pretty much dead. I would say like, it just feels like, oh yeah, cool, right? That's come out, and then 3 months later, it's oh no, you got to get the bigger numbers and all that, and like it's not all about the bigger numbers and stuff. Obviously, like it's more about the content that they're bringing to it, and like a lot of these games, the content is just not, it's not good enough, or it's not different enough. Whereas apart from like when it is a big expansion, you're like, oh wow, cool, though, I've got a big campaign to go through and stuff like that. It's just. Anyway, going back to early access, like it's just another way of fucking us over, really.
That's kind of how it seems to me. Like, I mean, obviously you pay your money, you make your choice. If you want to put down early doors, then that's fine as well. It's no different to like kickstarting something, really. It's just with some sort of better proof of concept at the start. But for me, my gaming experience is I don't want them prolonged, really. I like jumping in on something, becoming vaguely obsessed with it for a couple of months maybe, and then putting it to bed, having had my fill. That's how I've always played games. Maybe that's kind of old school at this point, but that's just how I feel. And yeah, as I said, with games lifespans being elongated already, and I'm not saying that Dreams is an example of this necessarily in terms of like a games as a service, although they're kind of putting it in that bracket if they're going to release it early access, because it's then sitting head to head with other games that are constantly bringing out new content. I'm just fucking bored of this whole new content thing. Like, I don't want new content. I want the game, I'll play it, and then I want another game. That's what I want. It's what I've always wanted. I've never been one to buy like DLC even for games, like add-on for single player content and stuff. It's not something that really interests me because I don't think I've ever played any DLC content or additional content ages afterwards that felt anything other than an afterthought or fixed the original fucking product.
Yeah, and I know what you're saying.
So, like, I don't care.
The only problem with that idea of like, I just want a game and I want to play it, and then that's it. Like, every fucking co-op game now is a game as a service. There's no fucking just like co-op games anymore. No. Well, certainly
they're not AAA.
No, exactly. No, yeah. Obviously, like we're saying, like we're gonna have to go elsewhere for those co-op kind of like tie-ins that we wanted.
Definitely.
But there's just no escaping the mass fucking games as a service. Is like, it's an online infrastructure where people come and meet up and stuff like that. But maybe, it's good fun doing that. But I just want a fucking co-op experience with my buddies.
Yeah, those old school Rainbow Six Vegas experiences.
There's fucking nothing stopping us from just buying a co-op game and just playing the campaign and being like, cool, that's that done. We don't have to buy into all the other gubbins that goes along with it. I don't know.
Gibbons. And yeah, again, promoting the Xbox somewhat, the Game Pass, there's lots of co-op stuff on there and lots of backwards compatible co-op games as well. And it starts to get to the point where if nothing new is coming out AAA wise, like, then you're not really buying anything for its graphics anymore, because the best graphics games tend to be the most expensive ones, the sort of mass market ones. If you're not playing those, then there really is no need to be at the forefront of graphical technology with the consoles or anything else. So yeah, it's an interesting one. But either way, I'm sure I think Dreams will do all right for that price. I think a lot of people will take a punt, but I think the VR thing kills it quite badly, because it looks like the sort of game that's absolutely perfect for VR. And granted,
I thought that was the whole thing about that game, was like, oh, you can make all this shit in VR and like 3D fucking models with your hands and shit. Like, I thought that was that whole game.
Yeah, I mean, when they originally announced it, there was a heavy VR element. So for that to be missing at launch, it means I've no interest whatsoever. But I guess we'll just see how it progresses. It's going to be interesting to watch from the sidelines and see if at some point it is worth picking up. But yeah, we shall see, buddy. We shall see.
Nice.
So number two, exciting news, buddy. F1 2019, the new F1 game, 2019. It's coming out earlier than normal, buddy. And that's exciting because it means that it will be reduced earlier than normal.
Earlier, yeah. It'll go in the sale quicker. Good news.
Last year, this game came out, I think in August. And 2.5 weeks after launch, the price dropped by £25.
Yeah, it was 25. It was 30 quid, wasn't it? We picked it up for, I think.
So that's obviously completely insane. And we picked it up for a bargain basement price.
It was still within its in the top 10.
Month. Yeah. Madness. Anyway, presumably that'll happen again, except the game's coming out on the 28th of June this year, meaning sort of mid-July we'll be able to pick it up for presumably about £30. So that's cool. That's not
nice
much news yet, but the sort of headline thing is that in the sort of very brief sort of 25-second reveal trailer, they showed a car, and obviously they would, buddy, because this is a racing game. But that car was not a Formula One car. It was a Formula 2 car.
What?
So it looks like that's the big deal. That's the big news this year is that the F2 cars, it looks like they're going to be available. And I'm hoping that the whole pack will be available and this won't be fucking early DLC content or day one edition bullshit or whatever, or an excuse for them to sell you cars, because I won't buy them. But if they've got all the F2 cars in there, I think that's really cool. That'd
be awesome.
They handle very differently. It's just, bring a sort of element of sort of variety to the thing, which
it's
I think
just
would
a bit of diversity, buddy, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it'd be really cool. I mean, I think that the F2, their support race is for the Formula One, so I think they race exclusively on all the same tracks. I mean, I've always liked the concept of some classic Formula One tracks in there. I don't know if there's stipulations in the license that says that they couldn't do that, but tracks like the Nürburgring, Imola, places that Formula One hasn't been for a while, like the Indian Grand Prix, South Korea, for example. There's all of these wonderful tracks that they had in older games that I loved. And, obviously 21, 22 tracks is pretty good for a racing game, but when they're the same every year, and some of them...
samey.
Yeah, well, it gets a little bit to the point where it's like it'd be nice to have a little bit more variety. We've certainly always really enjoyed the short versions, like the stumpy versions of the track.
It's a nice addition, I must say.
So yeah, F2 cars is the big headline, and a June 28th release, which is I think the earliest that the F1 game has ever come out.
I think so.
Cody's kind of took the reins.
Clearly means that they've done fuck all with like the actual game itself.
Yeah, I mean, it could well mean that. I mean, you're talking a 6-month turnaround with a June release date, so I can't imagine it's going to be that different. Certainly, the engine won't be, but that thing runs so beautifully now.
It really
plays
does
so well that I'm not especially worried. If they make some 5%
Are we looking for a bit of VR support maybe this year?
Well, that would be lovely. I can't see them doing that with the new consoles on the horizon, but certainly that would be absolutely fantastic. It would. VR in an F1 game, the sort of speed you get looking at your telly. Imagine that with the headset on. Be fucking beautiful Chundertown,
in your
buddy.
face. I love it.
So F2 cars.
Just thinking of it.
Gibbons, they've got some classic cars in there that we kind of dip a toe in every now and again. I really like having those there as well. Yeah. And this just makes it more of a complete package, really, having the F2 cars as well, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely, buddy. It's lovely. Any kind of additions in the game are welcome.
Yeah,
not
we'll
if we
buy
have
it
to pay them. Oh yeah, we'll get this game. Don't you worry, buddy.
It's just brilliant. They're just brilliant games. If you've got a wheel, then you have to buy these. It's a requirement. so yeah, good stuff. Exciting times.
Gibbons.
Moving on, Ubisoft confirms it will hold an E3 press conference this year.
It'll be crazy as always and retarded.
It'll be zany in an annoying way.
Zany, I like it.
And there'll be lots of DLC content for the sort of 4 games that they're supporting until the end of time. So,
do you reckon Elijah Wood's going to be back?
I hope so. That game was cool. That's something we should have a look at for sale-wise. I liked that thing. It was decent. It was a little bit scary, though, I have to say.
Yeah. Bit weird.
Mildly terrifying. Jump scares in VR. But
yeah, I think I won't get that.
Might not fancy it.
No.
Fair enough. Let's move on to the inevitable announcement from Sega.
No, what have they done?
That they are making a Mega Drive Mini or a Genesis Mini in the US, buddy.
Genesis Mini, okay.
Yeah, worth noting that thing was called the Mega Drive in Japan, where it was fucking made. And our
makes sense.
Listeners should probably bear that in mind when they're talking about the Genesis. The Sega Mega Drive Mini, HDMI out, USB controllers, a USB power supply. I think it comes with its own power supply as well. I don't know why.
That's handy.
Seems odd. The SNES that I've got, you just plug it into anything via its USB and it'll power it. So, but I did when we went on holiday. I did find that I then had to like get my phone charger at one point, or
Yeah.
like pop my laptop next to the TV as some sort of way of plugging it in. So wouldn't suit everyone, I guess. But you know, most smart TVs you could just run it off of that at this
Yeah,
point.
just plug it into the USB port. You'd be all right. No problem.
So yeah, it looks quite nice. It will be £70, which is basically the same price as the SNES was.
Yeah.
And it will feature lots of games. It looks like it's going to feature a lot more games than the Nintendo's offerings. They've announced what they're saying is a quarter of the games so far, and those games are Echo the Dolphin, Castlevania Bloodlines, Space Harrier 2, Shining Force, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Machine, Toe Jam and Earl, Comic Zone, Sonic the Hedgehog, Altered Beast, and Gunstar Heroes. So conceivably, this thing could have about 30 titles on it, which is impressive. Isn't the word, because these games are about a megabyte in size.
Yeah,
but decent, I would say, until the console is inevitably cracked like they all are, and then you could put 200 on there if you wanted to go down that road.
That's always nice.
Yeah. Either way, as obviously you're a renowned Sega fan, buddy, so I presume you're going to be rushing out
Huge
to pick up one of
Sega
these.
fan. Definitely. I'm actually wearing a Super Mario T-shirt right now.
There you go.
Love
he
that
fucking
Sonic.
predicted it.
Yeah.
Is there anything in there that interests you in terms of the games that they've announced, buddy?
No.
No.
No. I mean, I've got them all on my Switch.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll just use that, probably. I reckon.
I mean...
Right,
yeah.
okay, question. For years, there's always been the Mega Drive controller that you can just plug into your TV. That's been around for years. Yeah?
Yes.
Why not just have that instead?
Well,
they're like 20 quid.
They were notoriously shit, buddy.
Yeah, true.
The emulator in them is absolute toilet, although there's nothing to suggest that Sega's offering won't also be toilet, because they've got previous in that respect. But they were always like ran like shit, slow down, clunky controls, really cheap. Like they're rubbish, those things. So I mean, there were sort of knockoff Nintendo offerings of that sort of thing as well, but similarly toilet. The difference is Sega actually did license some of these turds throughout the years.
That's what I was thinking.
So I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, I don't know, it's just one of, but you know, jumping on the bandwagon, why not? Fuck it, everyone has a little cutesy machine that is pointless and you'll play once. Yeah, mate, love it.
They're nice to have, but
yeah, they are.
There's nothing on here really. I mean, you can get all of the Sonic games on. Well, you know, they're backwards compatible. I've got Sonic and Knuckles on my Xbox One. I've been enjoying playing a little bit of.
There you go.
Sonic's been released on every platform under the sun, and those were the best games on the console.
He's just been, you know, he's been hoarded out, buddy.
Yeah, has been hoarded out.
He's got a gaping asshole now.
Well, this is what happens when you're so slapdash with your license, when you can just like, you know, something Nintendo should be probably credited for, although it's been super annoying over the years, is protecting their IPs. And that's something Sega have never done. And then that makes an announcement like this far less impactful, I would say. So, yeah, totally not that interesting, but could be a nice little console. And it's, you know, there's always going to be those people who want to just sort of introduce their kids gradually through the different sort of years of consoles, I suppose.
Yeah,
I'd like one. I'm certainly not willing to pay 70 quid for one. I'd be willing to pay 40 quid for one. That would be my jumping in point, I would say. But I probably wouldn't play it. I'd just stick it on a shelf. So
sounds good.
It'd be an expensive ornament.
Yeah, it would. Wow.
Or a cheap ornament, depending on your tastes.
On and money situations. You
exactly.
know? For me, that would be an expensive ornament.
Yes. So, there you go. Mega Drive Mini. At least it sort of rolls off the tongue quite nicely.
I was looking at some gaming posters to put up in my room when I finally get it done. And there was like some for like £10. I'm like, fucking £10 for a poster? Fucking hell. What do these cunts think I'm made of money?
You can get those metal posters, can't you?
I went on one website and the poster was £3. I was like, yes, buy a poster for £3. That sounds amazing. Then it was like £8 postage. I'm like, you fucking bastards.
Oh, that's what that fucking what's that website that always advertises business cards?
I don't know, but yeah, that one.
Now.
Yeah, the business card company. Yeah,
they're always going on about fucking get this printed, get that printed. I went on there when I was doing my music and I wanted something, and yeah, they it's like £2 or something for 100 business cards, and then
that sounds good.
And then postage is $14.99. It's like
brilliant.
Waste of fucking time. And they don't tell you that until
you check out. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing.
Checkout.
Yeah, absolutely.
You sit on there for like 2 hours, and then they're like
sorting it all out. Yeah, like, fuck you.
They'll pay this. They'll pay this because they've put the fucking time in.
Yeah, exactly. That's the cunts. Anyway, I digress.
Something Pix. I can't remember the name of it.
Wank Pix.
Pix.
Different website. My bad.
Yeah, very different indeed, and a dangerous one to browse to in the office. Moving on, buddy. Drive Club servers shutting down March 2020.
Oh, no.
They're giving us a year's notice, but in March 2020, they're turning off the Drive Club servers. And I was kind of hoping that maybe they'd leave the VR ones on, because that game's not that old.
Yeah.
But they aren't. They're turning off all the servers.
They're actually taking the game off thing, aren't they? For sale. Because of licensing issues, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah. I think they're going to stop selling the DLC in like October or something.
It's nice of them.
Yeah. Kind of weird, to be honest.
Fuck it. It's a shambles from the get-go, that game.
It was a bit... It was very disappointing. And it's such a shame.
I had a lot of fun playing it, though.
Well, it had a great deal of potential, and it was a really enjoyable experience to play. That frame rate didn't really help it, but
no,
it was really fun. It's great fun on the wheel as well.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
bit slidey.
No, sort of years time, no more playing that online. So
oh well,
you have been warned, buddies. Speaking of VR, as I briefly did in that last bit of news,
yeah, mate, segue, like it.
The Valve VR headset has now been confirmed. It's called the Valve Index for some reason.
The VI, yeah.
It's going to be a headset. It will include integrated headphones, a tether with a display port 1.2, and USB 3.0 connectors, a power adapter, regionalized power adapter plugs, 2 face gaskets, and a cleaning cloth. There you are. That was from a Valve post, which was taken down shortly afterwards, but then they also confirmed that that was correct and they'd posted it, kind of negating the point of taking it down.
Yeah. Well played, Valve. Like it.
Either way, I'm pleased. You know, the more people that are making VR headsets, the more prominent VR will feature, the more people will make games for VR, the better chance it's got.
Previously, we've said how Valve have, moved, the industry further forward in its game designing. The big one for me was Half-Life 2 with all the gravity gun and stuff like that. It was fucking incredible. And the 3D puzzles in that game were nice. Playing them now, they're fucking not really much to be like, oh yeah, that's really simple, but when the game came out, it was like, fucking wow, check that shit out, that's really cool. And then obviously everyone started doing the same thing. And I guess them making some sort of VR headset, can, like you say, it can only be good things, because fingers crossed they're developing something fucking good for it.
Well, like Half-Life.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen.
No, I wouldn't have thought so. But no, absolutely right. The more VR stuff is out there, the more VR games are made, the better chance VR has of becoming kind of mainstream, to the point where the major games developers want to get on board and make stuff for it. So that's what we want, especially us as people who've bought headsets. So
Gibbons.
It's good news. Not much in the way of any other information about that headset at the moment. And being Valve, no idea when we'll get more information.
That's true.
But it is coming, buddy, and that's exciting news. Moving on, a couple more things. Firstly, pre-owned game sales are down over 30% in the UK. I don't know how that affects... Well, you would expect that to affect, how much they cost to buy,
You would
and
think
B,
that, but
how much you would get for trading them in, aka less. So, yeah, if the demand is
yeah, you
down,
get
then they're worth
less
less.
for trading them in, but they would cost more to buy. Would
I
that
think
be the
they cost
case?
less to buy because the demand is less. So, it's it's a worse
But
deal if you're trading in,
yeah,
and a better deal if you're buying. I would expect. So, might be worth thinking about. But yeah, I mean that's such a huge dent in the market, isn't it? I mean,
yeah. It's all
I don't know what
digital these
CX is going to
days,
do
mate.
exactly.
Well, the CX aren't too bad. Well, they all do hardware and stuff like that. And to be honest, Gamer's been doing a lot more hardware. Not that I've fucking been in one for about a year, but last time I was there, they were selling all kinds of hardware, tablets, phones, all kinds of fucking weird shit. You know, like they do. So I guess they're trying to move their profits elsewhere. But yeah, the fucking there was some stats about digital sales being fucking stupid this past year, and also with the with Sony coming out and saying they're not selling digital cards in retailers now. Obviously, that's going to be another kick to game, I guess. So people can't even buy, your V-Bucks from there anymore. So yeah, I don't know.
It's all dying, isn't
They're
it?
fucked, aren't they? Really?
They've been fucked for a long time. I mean, it's amazing that they've kept their
Yeah, to be honest, it is amazing that they're still going with all the administration and shit that they went through. But yeah, I don't know. See what happens with it, mate. But
they're all going. HMV's going as well. It's just a gradual process. But
yeah, it's
not like they haven't had time to
definitely
adjust,
diversify,
and they've not done that. So
true.
So yeah, whilst I feel for anyone who works in that field, because it seems to have a limited shelf life, it's not like it's going to be any great surprise when Game finally goes under, when CEX finally goes under, when they all sort of finally go under. So, yep, there we are. Reports coming in from anonymous sources at BioWare suggesting that their crunch periods are so severe that members of staff are suffering from depression and other mental health issues. Rather than kind of brushing this aside, BioWare kind of responded by suggesting there's room for improvement, as they put it, in this crunch periods, which just kind of all serves to further highlight the problem still hiding in game studios from years gone by, basically, when nobody gave a fuck about the well-being of their staff. And it became the norm to overwork everyone. And that seems to still be happening in this industry. And I would say, buddy, that the main reason for that is that the games industry is lagging so far behind most other industries on Earth. And always has been, because it's so completely unregulated, because
no one knows what the fuck it is.
No, because no one who is capable of regulating it understands it. Or cares about it. The years of lethargy against the industry, making it out to be for like geeks and stuff, like even when it was fully mainstream, and Christmas after Christmas of the highest selling like media being video games, and governments all over the planet, still ignoring that. And now we're in a situation where there could have been restrictions that could have prevented the spread of like gambling in games and loot boxes. Governments are now talking about it, but they should have been talking about it ages ago. They should have been preventing it in the first place. And this is just
I'm going to get a gambling addiction, blame it on games, and then blame the government for not putting restrictions on it.
Well, no, I mean, obviously you're right. You're right. Accountability wise, I just think like, I've been watching some of those panels from the Gambling Commission. And the people in charge have no idea about the industry, to the point where they're relying on games journalists to come in and fill them in. And
those games journalists are getting paid off.
well, yeah. I mean, there is again. That's another example of the problem with the industry. The fact
if
that
people want to pay us off, then I'm more than welcome.
Yeah, the journalism isn't journalism because it's paid for by the business that it's reviewing. So
those
it's all bollocks.
advertisements.
The games industry is fucking stupid, but this is just another example, really. I think everyone's kind of been aware that crunch periods, we had reports earlier in the year from various studios, people sleeping under their desks. Rockstar had a massive problem. But if you're looking at it now, everyone's fucking forgotten that Red Dead had all this controversy surrounding the way that people were being overworked. Everyone's forgotten about it. No one's talking about it. I don't think anything's been done about it.
Of course not.
So,
it's
certainly
hot
from a
topic
sort of
for like 2
regulatory
minutes, and it's like
standpoint.
then everyone just fucks off onto the new thing. That's the internet age, buddy.
And that'll be
It
the
is
same
what
with
it
this.
is.
It's quite
like,
clear that,
yeah,
I suppose the lack of, the fucking attitudes in America to unions and the rights of workers doesn't help. When a lot of
fuck those guys.
Yeah, well, when a lot of the major studios are based in the States, or at least paid for by companies in the States, then that's an issue. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, Rockstar is a prominently UK based company with the same issues, so maybe that's not got a massive bearing on things. Either way, it's really bad, and I doubt anything will happen. People will be on the outside saying, well, don't fucking work there then. But it's not really usually as simple as that, especially when you're doing something that you essentially love or have wanted
that you've
to
been
do
trained
your whole
for.
life.
Yeah, exactly. It's a career that you've always wanted to do, and you're doing it, and you will do anything to stay in that, I guess, especially at that high level, which is incredibly hard to get into. You don't want to fuck it up, really, do you?
It's just it becomes it really can sort of become everything. If you're spending so much of like the percentage of your waking life working, then it starts to sort of haunt your fucking dreams when you're not there. Like, people just need a break from shit. I mean, I've noticed since I'm in no way overworked in my new job, but I am working sort of 45-hour weeks, 46 hours sometimes, and there comes a point when it's really hard to stop thinking about it because you're so used to having it in mind all the time.
And that's why you do a video games podcast, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. But especially when it's something that you don't hate. Like, I don't hate what I'm doing, and therefore my mind is inevitably more interested in thinking about it. Whereas, like if you're in something terrible, then the first thing you want to do when you walk out the door is forget about it.
Go to the pub,
yeah. Yeah, it's a tricky topic, but yeah, I think all of it probably speaks to just a lack of regulation in general across the games industry that's kind of always been there, but it just seems more and more mental as the years go on and things improve in other fields, other aspects of society. It just makes them look more and more backward and stupid and terrible for the people working in there.
Yes, unfortunately, buddy, it is sad.
And that's my serious 5 minutes, buddy, for this week.
That was a good serious 5 minutes, buddy. Let's get back to fucking nonsense.
Roger Dodger, buddy. Battlefield 5 introducing premium currency this week because fuck you if you bought Battlefield 5, says EA, presumably. So that game didn't sell very well. That's probably why this is happening. If it had sold well, this would also be happening because it's EA. Because fuck you if you bought Battlefield 5, apparently.
Fuck you guys, yeah.
With that, buddy, I sign off from my news section and hand over to you for my favourite section, and I'm sure the listeners as well. And that, of course, is Ash's News favourite things of the week.
Well, cheers, buddy. Let's have a fucking goosey ganders at what we've got. Sony has tweaked their refund and cancellation policy to allow you to cancel stuff even 14 days of within 14 days of purchase, but that's only if you haven't downloaded it. So I mean, that's fucking pointless, really, at the end of the day. No? Yeah, that's not amazing. No, but there were mentions of being able to get a refund if the game is broken. Now, there's nothing to say that what justifies a game being broken, so we'll see what happens with that. Wow. Fuck all, really. I've got 3 other things. Here we go. The Switch is finally getting its first controller that supports in-game chat.
Wow. I can't believe they've got that
Technologies
to work on
these
the Switch,
days.
buddy.
I know. You'll be able to chat and listen and also play. Yeah, don't. Fucking retarded. It's Nintendo. They are crazy.
Yeah.
Keeping with the Switch here, buddy. This is weird. But Civilization 6. Obviously, that's on the Switch. It's also on PC. You can now cross-save from PC and Switch.
Okay. I
think that's kind of cool. Because obviously,
it's cool.
Civ 6, you're going to play a lot of that on your PC. But then you might go on a train. I love trains. And I could take it with me on my Switch.
I mean, it's really cool, but I've never really thought about the cross-section of people, the sort of people that play Civ on the PC.
Yeah.
That doesn't strike me as your standard Switch user.
Owner. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And
I think that's mainly why I highlighted this, because it's cool, but why?
You just wonder how much effort that took for them to get that working.
Yeah. Why? That's the main question. That if I was there at that or wherever that got, they were like, yeah, and this is happening. I'd be like, why?
We did it, guys. Yeah, there was no one in that room was like, but why have we done it?
Why?
We shouldn't complain about cross
No,
features.
definitely
and
not. No,
but
it's
you're
fantastic.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a little bit strange, isn't it?
It's a bit weird.
Yeah.
And finally, buddy, Borderlands 3 got fucking trailers and shit this week. I'm like kind of excited about that. They're like, Borderlands has been like some fantastic like co-op games in the previous year, and I'm kind of excited about it. Apparently, it's launching in September on Xbox One, PS4, and exclusively on the Epic Store for PC.
Oh, well, that's going to go down like a sack of shit, of course. But
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've always been a big fan of Borderlands, but I think you've always been like quite the fan. And I suppose really, if you look back now at the original Borderlands and certainly Borderlands 2, they were probably a fairly early marker of the sort of Destiny kind of gameplay, really.
Yeah,
if you think
in
about
a sense, yeah. Without like the whole mass online thing, it was just you and 3 other buddies, like 4-player co-op, crack on and go for it. And like, yeah, we played a lot of Borderlands 2, didn't we? Because you didn't get on the original Borderlands. I think I played that with Funk and Bobble back in the day.
Yeah,
but I really, really enjoyed those games. They're great fun. The amount of fucking loot that thing throws at you is awesome. I think the art design was fantastic because originally when the first Borderlands was like teased or whatever, it looked more like Mad Max, like just standard graphics, and looked a bit crazy. And then suddenly the next thing I know, it's like all fucking cell shaded, and it was mental. And I was like, wow, this is fucking super cool. But yeah, Borderlands 3 coming out later this year. It's one that I'm actually really looking forward to now. Yeah, there you go.
The first thing that sprang to mind when I saw the announcement, and that of as we reported last week, the Borderlands 1 remaster, was I had forgotten that we are the proud owners of the Handsome Jack collection.
Yes, we are.
And we were about halfway through, I think.
Maybe I think we should make an effort and go back and play through that, buddy.
I'm really up for that. I really
let me just check my
Borderlands
calendar. Yes.
It's a yes from him.
I'm available if you need me.
I keep silly Dokio, buddy.
I'm an idiot. Yeah,
I'll get that downloaded.
Cool. Yeah, that's a good point. I'll have to download it as well. And I believe because we own that, we can get like because that included Borderlands 1 and 2 in it. I can't remember the Handsome Jack collection if it did or not. But if it did, like people that own the original one get a HD remaster of the original Borderlands.
Maybe that's the one we should play then. That'd be cool.
Yeah, it was a very good game.
I didn't even play that game. So
I think I bought all the DLC for that as well.
Oh shit! Check you out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check me out. Well, there you go, buddy. There's some news favourite things of this week.
Oh, well, thank you very much, buddy. That was very interesting to hear. That was your news. Before that, of course, was my news. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the news. And now it's time for Out This Week.
And that's out this week.
It certainly is, buddy. And yes. Super Dragon Ball Heroes World Mission arrives on the Switch and PC this week. But wait, there's more. Dangerous Driving arrives on the PS4 and Xbox One. This is what I was talking about earlier when I mentioned an arcade racer. It's from the original creators of Burnout. It's being predominantly described as a low-budget Burnout. Getting some decent reviews here, actually. Looks quite fun. Yeah, that's out this week. So probably worth a little look from us. It might be the arcade racer that we're after. It's got that Burnout feel, apparently, and...
Have we got a price point on Dangerous Driving?
I haven't looked it up actually, but I certainly can, buddy, because I'm staring at a laptop that's connected to the internet.
Okay.
So just having a look now. Coming soon. I'm on the PlayStation Store website.
Store.playstation
That's $24.99 or $22.49 for PS Plus members.
Oh, that's pre-order though, isn't it? Ooh.
That's pre-order with VIP sedan.
Wow, the VIP sedan. Fuck yeah.
Is there a non-VIP?
No, there isn't, buddy. There's never a non-VIP. Because everyone is VIP these days. You'll get an award just for fucking turning up.
Yeah, that's the only listing at the moment. Either way, it's something that I'm interested in because I like racing games. So
do I.
Yeah, so it might be worth a look, see what online components that has. That could be quite fun.
Nice, yeah.
Elsewhere, Neo Atlas 1469 arrives on the Switch. It is a strategy game. It's kind of like a ship trading sort of game.
Shit trading?
Ship
poo?
with a P. And that's an important distinction to make. Yeah, that game's out on the Switch this week. One that I'm interested in is Shovel Knight Showdown, which is some lovely alliteration and is a 2D platformer. And I've had my eye on it for a little while, essentially since I finished off with Celeste. So this is
Have you finished it now? Have you finished it?
I have not finished the very final level because I think it's probably beyond my capabilities.
Oh,
I think I'm about 3 screens from the end, but it's just absolutely rock hard. And having taken a little break, it probably take me a few hours to get back to where I was in terms of skill level. So yeah, I think it's defeated me. It's a miracle that it didn't do that earlier. I suppose a testament to the game design. But yeah, I had completed everything. This was like a sort of extra bonus stage, sort of post credits type thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, rock hard, absolutely hard.
I'm looking at Shovel Knight Showdown. It looks like a beat 'em up, not like a standard 2D platformer.
Yeah, it's got like that sort of
not a beat 'em
Castle
up,
Crashers.
Yeah. No, it looks like
a fighting game.
Towerfall Ascension.
Yeah. So I think that could be really interesting. I'm kind of digging retro games at the moment, and I also would quite like the original game because that was much more of a sort of old school standard kind of thing. But yeah, could be worth a look, and it's coming out on essentially everything: PS4, Xbox One, Switch, PC, and even Mac. So
nice.
Shovel Knight Showdown. Ace Attorney Trilogy arrives on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. That is Ace Attorney.
Ace Attorney, yeah.
If you care about that, you'll already know what it is.
You'll know about Ace Attorney. Then
you will not care.
You don't need to worry about it. Yeah,
I wouldn't worry.
No.
Earth Defense Force Iron Rain, because what the world really needs is another Earth Defense Force game.
It's true.
So that's good.
Every day, I think.
Nintendo Labo VR kit arrives on Switch. By VR, they of course mean a piece of cardboard that you can turn into something you can wear on your face with the Switch kind of sitting in it. That's coming out this week.
That's going to be incredibly uncomfortable and shit.
I believe it probably will. I'm looking forward to seeing that thing in action. And then finally, Konami Arcade Classics arrives on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. And that is something I have so little interest in, I didn't even bother looking up what games are included.
You don't need to, because it's awful.
It's Konami. So that's great.
Nice.
Yeah. And
that's
out this week, buddy.
Yeah,
There you are. And now it's time for JfG Street Beat.
Street Beat.
You wanna know?
Get in the shoe.
Get on the shoe. And Cosmic Dad is on the show. Our glorious benefactor. There he is, buddy. He's on the show. And he says this. I'm still an episode behind, so you missing one helped out with my podcast backlog a bit. Cheers. You're welcome, buddy. That's why we did it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You're welcome. And then he's got something I'm pretty interested in, because obviously I mentioned before that Vampire is arriving on Game Pass. It's a game that I've been wanting to play for a while. So he's got some thoughts on it here. He says, so Vampire then. I got this for Christmas last year, and it is interesting. It suggests to you that you can either play the game as a bloodthirsty murderer or a thoughtful, under-the-radar, only murder bad and sick people vampire. Trouble is, you get more XP for being bloodthirsty and murdering everyone, so ultimately, about 10 hours in, what happens is you reach a point in the game, if you've gone under the radar, where you can't progress because of the boss being 5 levels above you and one hitting you. So nice idea, but ultimately bollocks, because the only way to progress is to murder everyone. Just my 2 cents. Your mileage may vary. Duly noted, buddy. I will be a complete bastard then, so that the game works. I mean,
that's annoying.
That is annoying. I mean,
I'm a big fan of the stealth kills. You know, like it just reminds me of Dishonored 2 and Hitman. I play those games as stealthily as I possibly can, so not that well, but you know, I try. And you know, if a game has those 2 options, I'm always going to go for that, because it's like, oh yeah, I don't want to get seen, don't want to get found out, you know. And I feel like by doing that, you should be rewarded more than just going around beating everyone off. Way.
It's a bit of a flaw, isn't it? I mean, I spoke to one of my friends about this actually, who has played through this and was really enjoyed it. But everyone I've spoken to, who even those who really like the game, they all say, but there's always a caveat.
Yeah.
It kind of reviewed that way as well. 6s, 7s, because brilliant proof of concept, and 80% of it was wonderful, but there's issues. And that is annoying, especially, as you say, in a game where, you know, they've made it so that you can be under the radar. I mean, he said that he played it as the under the radar, trying to be a good vampire kind of thing. Yeah. Even in doing that, he came across a couple of sort of fork in the road decision-making spots where it really wasn't clear which decision was the good one. And then despite making it all the way to the end, having not essentially killed anyone other than when he literally was forced to, he still got the bad ending, even though he diligently worked his way through the game. Really sort of tolerated being underpowered and so on. So yeah, it all kind of sounds to me like I just need to be a
massive cunt.
Yeah, and I can be a stealthy massive cunt. Maybe that's
you can literally sink your teeth into it, buddy.
You really can. It's a really interesting game, and I'm looking forward to giving it a go. But yeah, I am aware of the problems, and certainly thank you very much for that feedback, because that very much makes my mind up in terms of the way that I need to play the thing. So yes, thank you very much. So I think that'll about do us, buddy, for episode 207 of the JfG podcast. What a time we've had. A little bit shorter than usual, but We've barely played anything, and there's no fucking news. So what can you do, buddy? We can't make this shit up, can we? What can we do?
Well, we tried. We
had a
talked about
go.
absolute fucking shit, and I've just remembered the time that I did play games this week. I learned about oversteer and understeer in a drunken state because I was like, "What the fuck does it mean?" And
Yes.
now I know. Now I know.
Now we know.
Now we know, buddy.
We know now.
It's an excuse. If your car doesn't go well, you can be like,
Yeah.
understeer.
You can blame it on the limited capabilities of the machine.
This car should be better.
Yeah,
because
it should turn better.
It should turn.
Physics
Going at like
should apply
200
this.
miles an hour. I want to do a right 90-degree turn here.
Yeah.
Fucking understeer, oversteer, bastards. That's how they get you. That's how they get you, buddy. But yeah, no, great show, buddy. Enjoyed it. Looking forward to next week, where hopefully I would have played some games. Maybe we'll play some Borderlands.
I'd be well up for that. And I think
too.
it's about this point in the evening where we head off onto the PlayStation Store and just kind of look at shit for a while.
I feel like we're buying some VR, buddy. There's no question about it.
Could happen. It could happen.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah. Well, let's go and fucking do that then, probably. Thanks very much for listening, everyone. We will be back next time. Of course we will, because we always are. Apart from that one time, we always are. So there we go. Yeah, thanks very much, buddies. We'll catch you next time. Until then, I've been Alex. He has been Ash.
Goodbye.
Farewell.